Hey folks, it's me again, in Arcane, and I actually bring you a video that'll hopefully be helpful to the X56 owners, the Logitech X56 flight controllers. Um, so I ended up buying the one you see here in the picture off of eBay. I bought it non-working, knew it wasn't working, with the intentions of fixing it because the price was just stupid cheap. Upon arrival, I plugged it in my computer, and the stick movement, forward, back, left, right, roll function, the rudder function, all seemed to be working. The only problem was the buttons weren't working at all. None of the buttons were working. The LED lights out around the buttons, they were working barely. They were flickering on and off. So I'm like, okay, looks like a connection issue, power issue of some sort. So I tore the whole thing apart and did some research or some videos or some forums and stuff, and I found that on the base, right below here, is some contacts. This whole thing actually comes off. This little bottom piece just kind of unscrews and everything. So anyways, right there. So took the whole thing apart, and I looked at some stuff, and I'm like, oh, let me take that contact plate off once I got the stick part removed, and you'll see what I'm talking about later on in the video pretty shortly. And I saw some stuff. Looks like the company I bought it from, looks like they attempted to repair it and make connections stronger and stuff. So we'll do some more testing of the board. There's a board that's up in here that I will take out. There's another board, in the base too. That they look like they try to do some testing and stuff too, repairs, but I'm not too worried about that because everything plugs in. Everybody recognized that there's a controller there, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, none of the buttons work. The company that I'd buy this from, they were really cool. They're on eBay. I'll put the link in the description. I got the flight throttle from them, and it was classified as non-working, but it actually works. So that's why I took a chance on this to see if it worked, and if it didn't, then I'll repair it. There's one repair I'm going to do, and it's replacing the main wiring harness that's actually in here. So let's see if I can actually let's do right pin. So there's a main wiring harness that comes up to here, and then it kind of loops in here, and then it comes to the main board, like right in here. And then some other wires come off and stop right here with a potentiometer attached to it. So I know the main board's good because it's getting power, but all the main wires come up through here and everything. So with that said, I'll show you some other video, and I'll progress with the video, transition, blah 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 blah, yada yada. And this is going to be in it because I'm going to edit all this crap out. And so this will be your first part tutorial, of course. And I'm going to order some parts. I'll show you what I'm going to order, and then I already got them on order and what I'm going to do, and what I'm going to place when they come in. I'll show you how I'm going to build it and everything else too. So hopefully it works out pretty well. Alright guys, so like I said, that's the controller, that's the base right there. I already pulled it apart, very few screws, comes apart really easy. But this is the main harness I was talking about right there, and that's the base of the main harness. It just kind of fits in there. So my plan is to actually rebuild this as a new piece. And actually get rid of that board right there. I don't want that board there anymore. Also, when I did have it hooked up, and this is for the rudder potentiometer, and so I saw some issues with it. So I am going to try to either clean it up, move it, or just replace it because it can be replaced. I know where to get these, and then yeah. So This wiring harness is actually not too bad. I checked it and everything, and it was fine. But so this is a base that actually you'll see when you take, oops. So when you take this off the actual base, and you look under, this is what you see, and these are spring loaded, but they're double sided, so they have little tangs on them. They're also spring loaded, and I found one of them where it's recessed, it's not popping back out. So I think that's my issue there. But I was kind of looking at the base and everything, and I'm thinking, well, I wonder if there's something I can do. Again, I'm not going to touch this. Everything's fine. I don't really have a good soldering iron to resolder all those, and I don't really want to mess that board up. So what I'm going to do is make a new harness. I'm getting new. These little pins are going to be brand new. I'm going to get new ones. I got some samples coming, and I got one sample where it's I'll be able to actually wire directly into it. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, and just bypass that board and then put a new wiring harness through here. I'll take everything apart from here. I'll take a pin out, pull the pins out and everything. And then I'll buy a new block here and new pins. And these are pretty thin, pretty small gauge wiring. So I was thinking about just upping them just 1 or 2 notches. I do have a pinout that I made for everything. How thick that base is for that piece. Top, bottom, which each one does. There's repeating wires, colors, so you gotta be careful. So these two repeat on its side, but they go to one set go to here and the other set go to the main board. So that's what I'm gonna do. Unsolder those, and then pull that out, because I'll have to reuse this part, and then probably buy a new one of these. So that's my plan is there. Like I said, there is a main board in there. This is the main board that's in the top portion of the control stick, that part. So I definitely want to go through here and just check a lot of little resistors and stuff. That little gray, well, let me get this out. The little gray piece, like right there. I'm going to check that. The little ones, I'll check that, because those are surface mount. I could probably be okay doing that. These are LEDs, of course. So, but really the buttons look fine. All the soldering for the wires up here looks fine. These don't move around too much. When I did my research, it all came back to this main harness, which makes a lot of sense, because that this part twists and it kind of gets mounted together, and you'll see that all when it goes back together in part 2 or 3. But definitely, like I said, someone was in here before me. They tried to fix it because this black stuff that's right there and right there, it's not supposed to be there. They did that to keep the wires down so they don't move and everything. But I mean, other than that, I don't really see too much in the way of damage or something that might be damaged. I'm not going to worry about these wires. That looks like that was resoldered. Looks like he just tried to resolder some stuff. So definitely look resoldered right there too. Like I said, I was going to check all that. I'll pin out right here and check those. And I'm just checking resistance and stuff, see what there is and what there's a breakdown, or if there's a high resistance to something. Do the best I can with the knowledge I have on hand. But like I said, unless you know a lot of soldering and stuff, that's going to be the thing. Like I said, these things, I think it's what it is. Because like I said, that one right there, the little nipple on it is recessed in there, so it's not contacting this board. So, because this fits on there like this fits in there. This fits in there like that, right? It makes a contact. But with you moving around and everything and going this way, twisting it, this stuff gets loose, things get moved around. So yeah, that's about it. And we'll find out. So again, part 1, this is just a breakdown Again, there's other videos that show how to take all this apart, so I'm not going to bore anyone with that. But once I make the new harness, I have this guy right here. I'll have that on, and then get it back into focus here, and then you'll see me put all that together and everything like that. I just got to source these connectors and some wires and stuff out, and then to be done. All right.